Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 16 of the DKM podcast. This is your simp, Kenny. You know,
We got him back, boys.
Got him
yeah,
back.
yeah. I'm simping for the boys again.
We,
You
we,
know,
for now,
forget,
he's cured of the pussy whip, but we don't know how long it'll last.
Them scars are deep, boys.
bro. I still have nightmares. I don't know what you're talking about.
So how was your Valentine's, Kenny? Everything was cool?
Yeah, I went out of town. I was at Universales and Islands of the Adventuros,
Oh, damn,
and
dude.
yeah, came back on the 13th and had real nice date, and then the 14th we just kind of like relaxed and hung out and watched The Walking Dead because Liz started watching that.
Oh, so she's just watching a show about the future?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be well, I'm not gonna say it on stream, but it's gonna be the the virus 2023, right? 8 years, like 3 years, 2 years on the line, it's going to be everyone's walking around fighting for a vaccine or if they're immune or not. Didn't they make a movie out of that? About
um
I could have sworn they did about that specific plot point where the virus is no longer 2019, but it's like 2025 or something like that, and it's developed into this thing that turns people into zombies. I forgot what it is, and people who are immune to the virus are like wearing these armbands. I can't remember. I don't know if you guys
yeah,
know.
I don't know. All I know is that zombies in general it would be possible.
Hmm.
Would be possible or impossible?
Impossible
Impossible.
because
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
the decay of muscles and stuff. I mean, maybe when they're first dead, but after a
Yeah,
while they
yeah, it's
they
true.
wouldn't be able to move.
And even
Yeah, it makes a good
e-
point. Is that why like most like modern zombies are no longer depicted as like dead? Most of them are just
Hmm.
like I think like in the
Like a rabid
Last of Us.
human, pretty much.
like
Yeah,
28 days
yeah,
later.
like why we moved away from like the slow decaying zombies. We went from like I Am Legend
Yeah,
zombies.
much like
Bro, I
28
Am
days
Legend
later.
was such a dope
28
movie.
days
They're
later.
crazy fast.
Oh yeah.
Well, here's the thing though, that what is it that people, what was it? Dang, with these slow zombies, people don't understand that, hey, yeah, much like what you said, the decay of muscle, but
Yeah.
even if you had zombies like in World War Z, I mean, given our military presence, period,
I
uh
don't I just don't feel like zombies would be able to take over as easy as like
oh
people would
yeah.
people
Yeah.
depict in these TV shows and stuff. Like, how is it that you didn't notice that this one person is acting really fucking weird and is about to bite you?
Uh yeah, that's, I mean, I guess that's just for drama and stuff. People need to be on
Yeah.
Yeah.
edge. Because, like, if you look at the Telltale series, that you're like, hey, why is this person
That was about
not
Yeah, I
responding?
was about to say that, like in the Walking Dead Telltale games, like they kind of like treated it as like very isolated situations.
Yeah,
Right.
but the thing is that they ask, "Hey, person, are you okay? You're not looking okay." And their first response is just like, "Hey, I'm just gonna touch their shoulders where they're at arm's length and stuff," you know.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
I think us Floridians remember the bath salt incident that
Exactly.
happened.
So
Remember?
that's why we don't do anything. Like, we'd be like, "Nah, man, you stay over there. I'm not
That
getting
was
close to
crazy.
you."
yeah,
Yeah, if you guys are really interested, this was like a local story for us Floridians. There was a gentleman who was tripping on bath salts that assaulted a homeless man and ate like half his face and shit.
Ate almost all
People
of his
thought,
face, yeah.
yeah.
yeah, it was graphic
The
shit.
thing about
Um,
that too is that people don't understand that bath salts alone don't do this. A lot of drugs actually make you resistant to a lot of I want to say resistance. Your pain receptors don't go off when it comes to
yeah, why do you think that like people on drugs like they get shocked by tasers by the police and like they just shrug it off?
right, exactly. And it's something about how drugs really affect your nervous system, how it affects your mind, your brain, and that's why when people are on narcotics, especially rather strong ones, that they sometimes police have to handle them differently. So yeah, it's crazy. So imagine a scenario like that where you have people, I don't know, on these bath salts that are eating other people's faces. That's a bit different, but you could see how one person was taken down even after a volley of gunshots. That person was taken down eventually. There's only so much the human body can handle.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the thing with zombies in movies and media. They always depict them as high number of, them against us,
Right.
There's like stories of zombies where they were quarantined when Romero did the I think it was called Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Because there's Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and then there was Day of the Dead or Island of the Dead, I think it was called.
What about Dead of the
it was
Dead? There's that one.
Oh, you're funny, aren't you?
No.
You're a wise guy, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, if you simping now, you're making jokes.
You got jokes now?
Yeah, yeah, mate. Yeah, dude.
You a joke.
Okay, funny man. Haha. Do the funny.
Your
I
kneecaps are
just
privileges,
did.
Kenny. Don't you forget that.
You see, I just breathed. Oh, dude, I'm sorry to just change the subject. Fall Guys is
Well, let
coming
me
to
just finish what I was
Xbox.
saying before you go. I was just gonna say that in that movie they depict that they've managed to quarantine the zombies to a point where like they use them as for humor in a
Right,
sort of way.
right.
Like they used them as like a novelty thing. But of course, like eventually when the zombie starts getting cognizant and they're like, "Hey, I could lead these people, so I'm gonna go ahead and fuck up." I think it was called Gracious Green or something, which is like the elite people. Like that's like what the movie depicted is that it's possible to live with the zombie apocalypse, and that's what kind of War Z apparently was trying to lead towards with the ending, not with the fucking Pepsi tie-in thing.
Oh, it was a
Right.
Pepsi commercial. Shit.
No, it was literally the ending was that like after what was the main actor again? Brad Pitt fucking injects himself
Oh.
with AIDS for all I know. He goes down the hall and he wants to get a Pepsi. He just puts the money in, he punches the machine, and he's like drinking a Pepsi. Like, oh man, I'm sure in the mood to drink a Pepsi.
Look, all I know
That
is
sounds so cringe.
That's actually how the movie ends.
dude,
Oh my gosh.
dude,
Yeah, that was a weird movie. I enjoyed it, but I don't know.
you got injected
I-
with AIDS. A man just wants his Pepsi, okay? You can even look
Yeah.
at the way Iron Man 1 ended. He just came back from hell and all that stuff from overseas. He just wanted a cheeseburger. He goes to Burger King. He gets a cheeseburger and says, "Hey, I'm fine." Okay? All right.
Yeah, you just came back from hell. I just want to eat a cheeseburger.
What were you saying, Kenny? What was the one thing that
Yeah.
got you cracking up?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
stupid little idiot. I love you though.
Well, you guys take a look at the chat, and
what's
you
up?
look at Fall Guys.
Oh my god! No! No!
Well,
Yeah.
well.
That did not go
okay.
through QA. There's no way. That's fake, dude. That's fake.
Well, if you look at the feed, he's actually turned around. And second, Fall Guys is coming to Xbox, so
Oh, that's cool. Wait, was it on Xbox?
Yeah.
It's also coming to Switch.
yeah, it's also coming to Switch.
Yeah, so I guess we could talk about the direct. So, did you guys see it? Do you know anything about it? What was announced?
Okay,
I just saw
so
Skyward Sword.
Let's get the Smash character reveal
right.
out of the
I'm
way.
actually glad that they implemented again a 2-in-1 character because honestly, that's one thing I missed about Zelda and Sheik.
Are you talking
In-
about like Pyro and
Pyra.
Pyra and
Spyro the
and
Dragon and
Martha?
Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, dude, one day they'll be in Smash. One
Dude,
day.
that would actually be pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. Let's just wait for Master Chief to get in there first, okay?
Oh yeah, so
No,
yeah,
dude,
because he's already in Fortnite.
He's
He
already
might
in
as well be-
Fortnite. He's already
Look,
in Fortnite.
He's already
If
winning.
he's in
he
Fortnite,
won.
he
He's-
might as well already be in freaking Smash Bros. I mean, come on.
I guess. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I'm cool with a character like that who could transform because I miss the old days where Zelda and Sheik were one, and now they're not. Which honestly, I don't really care about so much. But I'm glad they implemented a character that can do that now, and that can transform faster than Pokemon Trainer can when they're switching to different Pokemon. But their moveset does look quite nice. I like how it's just like a different change of character, like of different move styles, different combos that can be implemented because how quick the transformation is. I like it. I like it a lot. Maybe people aren't too excited about the character itself being released, but you know, I like the mechanic that they brought back. But people are
I feel like that they wanted to bring a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 character into the original roster, but they didn't probably have enough time. So I feel like that, okay, if we have to put a Xenoblade Chronicles character, either has to be Rex or Pyra and Mithra, which I still haven't played the game. I'm not that immediately interested in the game. But I feel like that it was sort of like, okay, we had to put a character from this game, and they just said, all right, fuck it, let's just do it now, then later.
Let's do the fan
Not my
service version of it, not main character.
Hell yeah,
Well,
dude,
I-
titties, let's go.
I think that was Sephiroth, to tell you the truth. That was a huge
Oh,
fan
dude,
service.
homeboy coming out here shirt topless, dude.
That
you know
was fan
the
service.
fuck?
That was fan service. And no one could say otherwise, dude. That was a fan service.
They didn't have to do it, but they gave him all the horny. They did. They gave him all the horny energy.
Oh, what? Shulk is the only shirtless character? Nah.
We need Bikini Pyra as an alternate costume.
Dog,
We need that to be a thing. Sakurai, don't give me this bullshit about like, oh, we can't
Wait
put
a minute.
mine in the background because it's for good boys and girls. What the fuck are you talking about?
wait a minute. You're gonna tell me that you want to turn Smash Bros into an anime because now you're implementing a beach scene? A beach
Dude,
arc?
have we seen all the anime sword characters? What the fuck are you talking
Oh,
about?
you're right. My bad. I spoke
Thank
out
you.
of line. I'm sorry.
Yeah, make sure we talk to the king properly.
Sorry, Daddy. I think they have. What was it? Who did they say that to? That Smash character was like the game is for good boys and girls, so we didn't implement it.
Mai from fucking KOF.
That's right, and I'm like, okay.
And here they are putting titties in there.
No, I mean then you have
The
Bayonetta.
nerve. The
You got
nerve.
Bayonetta. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. And she's like
Bayonetta.
a rated M character. Like, come on.
I love it how they get around the rated M rating by saying, hey, this character is this person from this game, but they don't put the game out there. Because if you're saying, hey, this is the game, right? This is the game Bayonetta, then whatever trailer that they have for introducing this character has to be rated M on the ESRB.
The funny thing is that Pyro's inclusion is that it confirms that spirits are no longer deconfirms.
Wait, repeat that?
Because Pyra and Mithra were both spirits. Like, there were spirits in the base Smash Bros. Game. So that eliminates the whole, like, spirits inclusion as a possibility.
I don't think
now.
anyone really doubted spirits can't be can't be Smash characters, but assist trophies. I feel like assist trophies definitely seals the coffin for you. That if you're an assist trophy, you can't be like Waluigi, Shadow, who was it? Knuckles, I think, or I can't remember.
Yeah, Knuckles is a assist
Right,
trophy.
so
Knuckles, come on.
that's really it. That you can't have an assist
We need
trophy.
a Knuckles and Knuckles like assist trophy mode where it's just nothing but Knuckles.
No. How about we don't commit sin, please?
Okay. You're
But
right.
what about the other
There's plenty of that.
Nintendo Direct? Like, did you guys think of anything else good about it? I honestly,
I didn't really watch it, so.
I was
Well, the one thing that I'm happy for is that they finally announced Skyward Sword HD.
Yeah.
That's like the same thing. You know, I'll say this though: the Switch has been my Nintendo redemption system. It's gotten me to play games that I admittedly ignored. Like I said, 3D World. Like I still haven't played it. Unfortunately, I bought it like weeks ago, and I still haven't fucking opened it. But it was a game that I wasn't immediately interested in. I think a lot of people could safely say 3D World probably wasn't a bad game, but at the time, if you went into 3D World after playing a shit ton of 3D Land on the 3DS like I did, 3D World didn't appeal to me. It just made it look like a bigger 3D Land. So I kind of slept on it. But now, you know, we live in a post-Mario Odyssey world. Now we could look back at that game and be like, okay, now we could give it a fair shake. And I'm kind of glad that, generally speaking, the reception has been better, because back then people said like it was a mediocre 3D Mario game, but I think it was the what's the word I want to use? The expectations were high because, you know, a 3D Mario game and a 3D Zelda game is like the swan song of the system. It's like, okay, this is the game that's going to define the generation of that particular system. And you know, with Mario 64, that was the N64. Sunshine was GameCube. Galaxy was the Wii. And with the Wii U already being like a very half-assed system at the time, we didn't get like a 3D Zelda game until it's on its fucking deathbed. And like the 3D Mario game, like this had to be the big seller. It didn't really appeal to a lot of people, especially if you were like me and you were kind of getting tired of the new Super Mario Brothers not forced, but like heavily marketed multiplayer. To me, it was like, okay, so it's new Super Mario Brothers, but in 3D. A lot of people kind of like brushed it off, but now people are like looking back and like, oh, this game is not that bad given its isolation. But during the Wii U era, a lot of people are like quick to glance and be like, it's forgettable. Move on, wait until Mario Odyssey comes out.
Right.
But yeah, with Skyward Sword, it's the same situation. I didn't play Skyward Sword. To be honest, though, up to Skyward Sword, I wasn't the biggest Zelda fan. I've only played Ocarina of Time, and I never really got really into Zelda games back then because it was the same shtick. Like, I'll get into the game, I start playing the open world, and then later I'll get into a dungeon, I'll get stuck, and I'll be like, fuck it, I don't feel like playing this anymore. And Skyward Sword was definitely like the most divisive of the Zelda games, at least from my memory. I remember like people liked a lot of things, but a lot of people couldn't get into the motion controls, the level, the design of the game and stuff. I remember I was rewatching Johnny's review of the game, and he mentioned that that's like the one and done Zelda game. Like he can't go back to that one because of the way how the game is designed. It tires you out. But yeah, I'm just glad it's finally confirmed. It sucks that we didn't get any information about Breath of the Wild 2, but I'm going to say this right now. It's probably going to sound really depressing. I'm probably going to say that Breath of the Wild 2 and Metroid Prime 4 are probably going to be the last games on the Switch.
I think they'll come out on the next console.
You think so?
I think
you
so.
think it's going to
be on the Switch Pro or whatever their next console is going to be.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like an entirely new system. I think it's just going to be like a upgraded model of.
Yeah, it's going to be an iterative system from
unless they really change up the what do you call it? They really change up the what's this thing called? How a game is able to physically work into this new console. Then maybe it is a new console. But the Switch, much like how you said, it is a it's one of those games that brought people back to Nintendo. You know, it's something that. Yeah. This is why I think that they're really going to stay with their Switch platform. It being portable, easy to use, easy to access. Obviously, they've helped a bit with the Joy-Con drift, so I'm pretty sure that I'm really not gonna mess this up.
Yeah, I mean, like even Nintendo said that like the Switch is meant to go back to we're trying to make a system that lasts longer than I want to say like 6 or 7 years. Like they're trying to make the system last for like 9 years.
Well, the only way they're going to be able to do that is if they get more powerful hardware behind it now because of the new generation of consoles. Nobody's going to want to port their game that looks like.
I disagree. I think that if the money is there, they're gonna do it some way, shape, or form. Yeah. They're gonna have to figure it out. If the game is gonna look like an N64 game, they're gonna do it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, at what point do you say, all right, this is diminishing to our fan base, we might as well not even make the game in the first place?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get that. That's why they usually like outsource the development, like the Panic Button stuff, which that's their specialty.
Yeah, and I get that. But at some point, Panic Button and all these other companies are not going to be able to port these games onto the Switch unless they literally remake the game from the ground up. Then you get the issue of like Modern Warfare 3 on the DS or Modern Warfare 2 on the DS or Call of Duty Modern Warfare on the Wii. Which wasn't even... Reflex. I'm sorry. Modern Warfare Reflex.
Don't fucking disrespect Reflex, dude.
I'm just saying, like, that's the issue. That's when they're going to start coming out with these spin-offs of the original game that releases on normal consoles to then the Switch, which is more of the hybrid. But I feel if they make a Pro and they can kind of like... If they have the new Tegra chips in it, not saying a Tegra X1... Whatever the newest one is, I think it's like Odin or something like that. Then I think, maybe they might have a chance with having like big AAA titles aside from Doom and, Assassin's Creed on their consoles and will run well.
I think what they'll probably do is that I don't want like a mid-generation refresh of a Switch Pro if they could avoid it for the longest time. I think that what they should do is they should do like the PlayStation 5. It's an inherent upgrade to the PlayStation 4, but it still plays older games. And that's how I think the Switch Pro should be handled.
Then you should look at it from the eyes of Xbox and not PlayStation. PlayStation only does from PS4 to PS5. Xbox does it from the original Xbox all the way up to the new Series X.
Yeah, but I'm talking about. But the thing is, though, one thing is that different physical media format we're talking about here. Like the Xbox original and the Xbox Series X still use discs. The Switch uses cartridges.
So does a PS5.
Or game card.
Well,
No, it doesn't.
even the
you can use a cartridge. It uses cartridges on the PS5.
Even the cartridges themselves.
All right then.
Even
that's my
even
point.
the cartridges themselves, like much like with most games nowadays, the hardware version of the game all it really does is just gives you a key to
Yeah, it's
download.
just a key.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
which you do own the game. You physically own the game. It is
Yeah.
yours. However, it's not so much a thing where like, hey, this is completely yours. The game itself is just you, and that's it. Even if you were offline and you couldn't, what was it? If you have the
So
game
there's
physically and you don't have an online connection,
Yeah, I mean, there's
you
one way to mitigate this issue that you're trying to propose, Danny, and that's by just keeping the same cartridge slot and using the original cartridges that you've been using for the Switch on the whatever the new
Yeah.
console is.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, because I don't want Nintendo to pull the fucking mini DVD situation with the fucking GameCube. Like
okay,
they did
yeah,
that purposely for piracy. But unfortunately, that's like the funny thing though, because people seem to forget that like the GameCube for the time was actually pretty graphically impressive. I would argue that it might have been technically better than the PlayStation 2. A lot of people seem to forget about that, but it was the Achilles heel was the mini DVD size. Like if you went to multi-platform games, the generally rule of thumb was like the original Xbox version looked the best and it was pretty good looking, right? The problem with the GameCube was that graphically it was powerful, but it was because of the smaller disc size that they couldn't like they had to compress the shit out of the textures back then. Like I remember, because the first game I remember I did this was Def Jam Fight for New York, which I really want to make another fucking Def Jam game that is actually good. Which, fun fact, apparently that game was made by the Yakuza team. I did not know that until recently rewatching Heroes mini documentary about, retrospective of the Yakuza series. So it makes sense. But yeah, I played that game on 3 versions. I played the PlayStation 2 version as a kid. I played the GameCube version, and I played the Xbox version. The Xbox version looked great. The PS2 version was the one I grew up with. But the GameCube version had really bad textures. But it was because they had to compress the shit out of the textures because of the smaller disc size.
Exactly, but you know, at
But
some
my point
point-
is though, like I think that with the Switch Pro, it'll be the Switch 2, and then later it'll be like, oh, you could play the newer Switch games and plus your older Switch games. I don't want it to be
just
like
do
a hard cut.
with the new 3DS XL and the new 3DS.
Yeah, like
That's
that. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
just an iterative console. That's not a true next gen upgrade.
Right. I get that. I understand what you mean, but I'm just saying is that like do that, but not treat it as like a mid-generational upgrade. You know what I'm saying?
But there's,
like
there's
do
no
the new
other way to treat it.
What do you mean?
Like how else would you be able to treat it? You can't.
No, I mean like make a distinction saying that this is the Switch 2.
oh okay,
Make the Switch 2 a thing and advertise it that, hey, this is the next generation. This isn't a mid-generational upgrade. This isn't like, okay, the new 3DS where it's like you could play like a handful of games that only could run on the new 3DS. Like, no, this is the next generation. You're going to need it, but you can still play your older Switch games too.
okay,
You see what I'm getting
Yeah,
at
yeah,
here?
yeah.
I don't want a
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 Pro. I want a PS5.
right, that makes
Well,
sense. That makes sense.
Well,
just
that's
not-
your choice.
Not changing the the what was it? Your means of playing all your old games that you own physically. You could still transfer all your that's something I would like. But then again, you have to see the you got to see the argument for digital and physical copies of a game. Obviously, physical copies are going down. It's no longer a people are still buying it just to have it, just to enjoy their physical game. But honestly, people are just doing everything digital. So if I don't know, if maybe the Nintendo Switch Pro, the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out and says, hey, you could
Switcheroo.
wow, you can say they'll allow you to re-download your games because it's connected to your Nintendo account, and that would be a bit different. But honestly, I'm not sure how Nintendo would work this. Maybe they might do this whole, hey, we know you have it on the previous console, but screw you, you gotta buy back again. You know what I mean? Who knows?
I mean, well, I don't. Hopefully, I don't hope Nintendo would do that, but you know, we can't know for sure. But we'll have to wait and see. I all I'm saying is like whenever people ask me, like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna do a Switch Pro, I'll be like, I don't want a Switch Pro. I want a Switch 2 at that point because I'm tired of like mid-generational upgrades.
But that's
Well,
gonna be the
like
part
the
of the
Switch Lite.
future. Like you can't really avoid that.
True, I know, but it's not something particularly.
I mean, maybe with this
Um,
this console generation, maybe, but
Hopefully not. Who knows? But we'll have to wait and see. Going down by the list. So the new Mario Golf game finally gets announced.
Hell
Marlo
yeah!
He finally got his Nostradamus fucking knowledge right, and they finally announced the Mario Golf game. I have never played a Mario Golf game, surprisingly. I
Neither have I.
always wanted another Mario Strikers game. That's what I always wanted. I want another edgy soccer fucking Mad Max Mario Strikers game.
Well, Mario Strikers is really violent. Holy crap, dude.
Holy shit, dude. He fucking shocked the shit out of Toad, and he screams his lungs out.
Dude, this is just... Oh my god, that game was violent.
It's the edgiest shit ever, man. What the fuck?
Dang, and then the second game came out. Oh, dude, that game was violent. Jesus.
Yeah, it's like the fucking Terror Dome for fucking Mad Max. Like, what the shit, man?
That game
I thought, like,
was brutal. And then the what was it?
the designs of when they're doing this fucking super strikes are fucking hilariously awesome.
The game, dude, was phenomenal. And it's just... I wonder if they will implement it back in...
But the only reason why I'm interested about this new Mario Golf game is that they gave my boy Wario a cowboy hat, and everyone's losing their shit because my boy got the fucking drip, my guy. He got the fucking drip.
Honestly, I'm kind of interested in the new game, in the new Mario game, golf game, because it gives you that hey, you need to. You're not only playing golf, you're racing as well.
Yeah, I love that mode. Looks really fun.
And
I'm definitely looking forward to
It's
that.
such a nice twist to it too. Like, hey, instead of just regular golf, let's implement something new about it. Let's make it so where like you really
just
need
do
to
like
race to the hole.
Super Mario Strikers.
No, it's
from the Wii.
Just get the 9-iron and just beat the shit out of
Exactly.
Luigi.
If I had to compare it, it's like basically combining Mario Kart with golf because you're racing toward the end.
We'll get to Mario Kart later. Actually, I have something to say.
Mario
about
Kart
that.
9?
No, actually, wait. Do you want to finish on Mario Golf? Because like I actually have something to say because
Yeah.
it's related to Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the last really big thing that kind of caught my eye. Well, there's a lot of smaller things that they mentioned here. That the only other thing that really caught my eye. I noticed that there was a lot of JRPG announcements. Hey guys, what you think about DC superhero girls? Like, what do you think about that?
Dude,
What is DC? What is this? DC Superhero Girls.
It was like a spin-off series of like DC girl characters,
okay.
you know, like Barbara Gordon and
They're making that
shit
a game.
like that. Yeah, and it looks kind of weird.
Wait, why is Beast Boy in there? Is Beast Boy a girl? Is Beast Boy a girl?
I mean, Robin's God, these designs are really weird.
Dude,
Oh wait,
this
no,
is kind of cringe. If we're being honest, it's like a Barbie sort of game, like for little girls.
Wait. There was one similar like this, but it was way more hilarious. It was one about like Barbara Gordon, Squirrel Girl, and it was a movie. I'm pretty sure. Let me see, because I remember I wanted to see it because I thought it looked kind of funny and interesting. It was was it? Nah, I don't think it was this one. I gotta find it, but yeah, I thought that was just kind of weird. It was like, oh, yeah, this was worth waiting a year for. But yeah, Miitopia's coming back. That's kind of cool. Like announced the 16.
Oh,
Remember the 3DS Street Pass game?
So
Oh, wow.
I don't know how I feel about that.
How the hell
I mean,
is that gonna work?
I have to wait and see. I love the shit out of the 3DS Street Pass feature, so we'll have to wait and see
but
about
they don't have
that.
Bluetooth unless it's only to their freaking Joy-Cons and stuff.
I think you're just supposed to make the Miis at this point. Like I think you're literally just making the Miis and just importing them.
You know what? I'm just gonna make the memes at this point. Screw the memes.
Pretty much.
Marcos will
let's see,
make
what else that really
Adolf
caught
Hitler
my eye.
again.
I like the Street Pass idea, but rarely did I ever take my
I like-
3DS out.
Hey man, going to a convention back when the 3DS was popping was pretty fun though.
Yeah,
like
true.
that was kind of
True,
cool.
True.
Oh man, I miss conventions. I want to go to them.
Okay, but do
I'm
you
not.
really?
I miss them. They're fun. And you know, when you go through the fatty sweat nerds and shit, and people don't bathe, you actually meet some pretty cool people.
Yeah.
You actually
Then,
have a lot of fun.
then when they
that.
lift up their arms and start jumping, and you see their titties flying around, and then you
Oh,
know, you
yeah,
get
and they
that
start
nice
doing
armpit smell, and you know, nut cheese. You just gotta go.
Yeah,
Were we talking about this the other day about
I can smell the dick cheese.
Yeah,
Well, I mean
exactly.
that's actually respectable actually. Weren't we talking about that the other day about what
No.
was it? Oh
No.
wait, no, we weren't. So like, you know how there's like gaming cafes and whatnot, and how it's actually popular in some areas where you pay a subscription and you get to be here. You have rights to access.
Yeah, like Taiwan, Asia, things like that. They're
They're
pretty
here in
cool. You
America
have, like,
too. They're here in America as well. But what I'm trying to get at is some of these places in America, they're rare and far few in between when it comes to these
Yeah.
places. They actually have a BO check because everyone else pays a subscription to be here, to be at this place. And if you're over here making it,
Smelling like
not
ass.
just ass, you just smell like something died. Uh, People are gonna complain, and you're affecting the customer base. And they actually have a BO check. They even have showers in this things, in these.
So you have no fucking excuse. You need to get your ass off the fucking bed. You need to stop waiting for Timmy to respawn. You like go take a quick shower, buddy.
For real. Hit the pause button.
I've seen them. They look pretty cool. Like you can order your food from the computer itself, and
Yeah.
like they'll bring it to you. It's pretty cool, man. As far as like, will that ever exist in America?
has.
Fuck it, dude. If
There-
we can
there-
make
there
it,
are.
if we can make
There's
it,
one in Texas.
if we can make it through this pandemic, I mean, then shit. I hope
Yeah,
so.
What's a pandemic?
They do exist.
We'll live in a panoramic.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, but then they do
Yeah.
exist. It's just they're very few. They're not everywhere. There's
Right.
one that was in California, but because of being California, they're like, you know what, we're just gonna not do it.
You know, I used to think that I would hate the idea of living in California and move to Texas, but now it doesn't seem so fun to live in essentially wasteland.
Oh,
So
yeah. So, I mean, okay, wait. So, when it comes to these gaming, what would you call them? Gaming cafes and stuff.
Yeah.
gaming
Yeah,
cafes,
that's what they're
internet
called.
cafes.
Yeah. So there is one, I believe, in Texas that actually is popping. That's actually pretty cool, and it's got all your amenities. It's got your ramen. It's got all the food you want. It's got all the gaming lounges you want. All the places to play tabletop games. These things can work if there's clientele. If the local business success rate allows you to do so. It's a lot, honestly, but I don't think if the market is there, I'm sure. My bad, not the market. If the clientele is there, I'm sure it'll be able to succeed.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. Like, especially now with this whole virus thing, like people aren't going to meet up as often for video games. But when they do, it's actually like pretty nice. But for a gaming cafe,
Yeah.
like where we're at in Florida, I don't think a gaming cafe would be all that popular. A little bit too much because people don't like to. I don't know how to describe it.
I think it's more like good old fashioned like LAN events like back in the day.
Okay.
Like those are pretty fun. I always wanted to host one. Well, actually, I did try to host one, but not a lot of people showed up. But you know, it has its purpose. But yeah, we'll just have to see. The only other thing that really caught my eye from the direct, that you know, aside from like a brief mention of a fucking Star Wars bounty hunter game, which I would be excited, but if you showed me something, I would be interesting. They literally just showed a cinematic that doesn't really show anything. That just says it's a Star Wars Hunters game. Whoopity doo. They announced the Ninja Gaiden collection, which is pretty cool. I've always wanted to play the 3D brawler Ninja Gaiden
Yeah, they
games.
did. 2D1 really
that's pretty
kicks
cool.
your butt, dude. Like you gotta.
That's what I'm particularly looking forward to. They announced a bunch of other stuff, you know, like they showed off the new Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah, I mean,
I
a lot
really
of
want to
those
get.
games on Nintendo Directs are usually just filler games, anyways.
Yeah, there was a lot of like RPG filler and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know, like some of the stuff was like, this is kind of cool, but not worth the wait.
Exactly.
The main thing is I want to talk about is the finale, which was Splatoon 3. I love Splatoon 2. I thought it was great, but my always biggest complaint was that, like, man, like, it feels like they had to make a Splatoon game, like, around the time when the Switch came out, and I felt like they didn't have enough time to cook up, like, a longevity plan in the first place. Especially with the shame was that, like, they made some really good DLC. Like, Octopath Expansion was a fun, like, single-player platforming challenge mode that I had. Like,
I'm
I
sorry,
spent an entire
Daniel.
day
I'm
just
sorry.
playing.
EA said that people don't like single player games because it's not that fun. People prefer multiplayer games. I don't think you're telling the truth.
Yeah, that just doesn't exist. It's
Yeah,
not good.
I think you're just. I think you're a paid actor.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
yeah, Splatoon 3 looks kind of cool. I remember waking up when the fucking direct was playing and seeing the fucking Inkling like walking around the desert with the goddamn Salmonoid and the fucking Eiffel Towers in the background like dug into the earth, and I was like, yeah, I'm probably tripping. I'm probably gonna go back to sleep when I wake up.
Definitely are tripping.
And then I woke up and was like, oh, wait, that's actually how the game looks now. You see, this is what happens when Team Chaos won. We live in Mad Max Fury World.
Dude, okay, so last time I saw Splatoon actually like introduce a freaking crazy ass like game was with Smash Bros Ultimate. So seeing Splatoon again, announcing Splatoon 3. Honestly, Splatoon 2 did a great job in adding more stuff to do, a lot more, like making the Splatoon series a whole lot better. I really hope Splatoon 3 does the same thing. Splatoon is not really my style of game, but I can appreciate the art. I can appreciate the actual metagame on it. But it's not for me. The same thing with Fortnite. It's not for me. But like, I'm glad we have Splatoon is coming back with a new game. Even though Splatoon 2 is still actually kicking off. It's still actually like being played a lot. So
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, like we mentioned like Mario Kart 9. So I keep hearing like this demand for people saying they want like a Mario Kart 9, and I don't mean to be like the sourpuss and be like that. Oh, you guys are stupid. They wouldn't do it. Look, I get it. I love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but to me, I just don't see the reason for it.
It's
like I just don't see it from a business perspective.
right.
Like,
right.
Mario Kart 8 still sells. Like, it's really appealing to a lot of people because Mario Kart 8, aside from the shit-tastic fucking battle mode on the Wii U, like, goddamn, that was like the laziest battle mode I've ever seen. Granted, I'm not even that big of a fan of a battle mode in any Mario Kart game, but fuck me, dude. Like, I want to know who fucked up on that department. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's best thing was probably fixing that mode entirely. But I think it's just much more appealing to people that, like, hey, we have a Mario Kart game, which is a game and a half at this point, readily available for you for $60, and it's still being a top seller on the Switch. I don't know what to do as far as a Mario Kart 9, because if you sell a Mario Kart 9 and it has less content than Mario Kart 8, it's sort of like Call of Duty Cold War all over again. Like, what's the point of getting Cold War when you already have way more content in Modern Warfare?
I'm so happy you just brought up Call of Duty Cold War, because I'm sitting here looking at this tweet right now, and it says this is right now on Twitch. I don't know how Treyarch messed up so much so quickly. Black Ops 4 has 35.7 thousand viewers on Twitch, and Cold War has 11.8 thousand viewers on Twitch.
Funny.
Let that sink in for a second. Black Ops 4 is ahead of
and it wasn't even that good of a game.
Cold War.
Well,
no,
the only thing
was booty.
The only thing
that keeps it alive is zombies and Blackout.
Yeah, well, Blackout.
Yeah, that's a joke.
Wait, Blackout? No, it's just legit. Just zombies is what kept it alive.
Just zombies at this
Yeah.
point.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Blackout
now.
is dead
Yeah,
as shit.
because
As soon as Apex came out on PC, Blackout died immediately.
Well, then
on PC.
then when Warzone came out, that game died on everything.
No, obviously. Well, Apex, no, it's still going. It's still going. The new season looks pretty dope, and it finally got a Switch release date. Forgot that thing was ever gonna come out.
that's right. That game was supposed to come out on the Switch like 20 years ago,
I mean,
Yep, before it came out on PC.
I mean,
Before Titanfall 2 even existed.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
They had the
What do you
foresight,
mean,
guys.
Marcos? What do you mean?
look, it's Call of Duty. Who cares? I'm enjoying Cold War Zombies.
Yeah.
Because what was it? It's actually quite nice. It's a little bit too casual for my taste sometimes, but it's actually quite nice. I'm enjoying it though.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just prefer the older Call of Duty zombie games.
Oh yeah, obviously, especially when we grew up with those games. Obviously, there's a definite bias towards that, and I can agree. There's some things I miss about World at War, where the zombies just pull you in, wanting that booty, much like that one old clip of what was that old clip of a creeper wanting to blow up a house, and then Steve punches him, and he says no, and then he
the Minecraft parody 18 plus.
Yeah, and then he did some unsightly things, non-PG things.
What the fuck?
You remember?
Things we cannot talk about.
You remember, Daniel?
On this podcast.
I've heard of the Minecraft
well,
porn sneaking
no,
on
no, no,
YouTube.
Okay, so allow me to
Elaborate.
not even elaborate. Allow me to
Give context. That's all I'm
It's
asking.
not even context. Okay, so creeper tries to blow up a house. This guy's poorly made house. It was a bad
Okay.
house, really bad, like ugly
Okay.
house, right? Then
Okay.
the Steve says, "Oh,
Oh, it's called Minecraft fail.
Minecraft fail."
Yeah.
Well,
It's what a generic title.
It's
It came out 8 years ago.
It's a
Oh,
it's a
fuck.
parody, right? It's a parody. Creeper tries to blow up this guy's house, and well, the guy didn't take it well, and he goes, "Oh, try to blow up my house.
Oh, are you
Try to get
talking
away.
about the Tobuscus
Try to
animation?
get away. Bring me
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
ass."
bring me that ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, there it is. Oh my
You're
god.
welcome.
Gonzo's. Is this guy still making
I
content?
think so. Just like
remember-
Skyrim Manslayer is still making content. Oh,
Oh, I don't
man.
know.
Wait, Sky does Minecraft is still making
No,
content?
Skyrim Manslayer is still making Skyrim.
Oh,
poop,
okay.
Like the original, like the OG Skyrim poop stuff.
Yeah, Gonzo. Man, I forgot about this guy's animation channel. Jesus Christ. Wow, this brings back memories.
So yeah, it's a.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Are you
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
it brings back
I kind of
memories,
like.
or does it bring back that ass?
Yeah, I just remember that.
I'm sorry for making you remember that.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm glad
Yeah.
you reminded me.
Um,
So PlayStation 5.
yeah, going from there.
So PlayStation 5 has
What
a
about it?
lawsuit against their
What about it?
freaking their controller.
We were talking about it a bit before we started recording, and I'm
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sony copying another Nintendo idea.
Yeah.
What a bunch of hacks.
Bro.
my main concern about it isn't so much about
No, it's not about the issue on the controller. It's how they're handling the situation.
how
To
is
be
that.
honest, they dude, like you have to pay to ship it to PlayStation instead of them paying for the shipping. Like, it's more of a slap in the face. Like, you just bought this brand new PS5. Literally 2 months later, your controller has stick drift, and you call up Sony support, and they're like, "Yeah, so we'll take it in, we'll repair it, but you have to pay for the shipping to get it here. We'll pay for it to come back, but you have to pay for it there."
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like really, like it's more of a I don't want to waste my money on repairing it, so let me just.
Did you have to pay to ship back your Xbox 360 if they gave you the Xbox 360 coffin?
No, actually, they give you the label and everything.
The label the prepaid and everything?
Yeah, you pay $100,
Okay.
and then they'll send you the box out. They'll.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
They still had to.
Well, yeah, that's
you
if
still
you're
have to pay for it, though.
outside of warranty. If you're inside warranty, they didn't make you pay for anything.
Gotcha.
But why do you think Microsoft never had a lawsuit against them with their Xbox 360s?
I don't
It's
think
because they had really good support.
Well, not with me. Not with me. They straight up fucking gave up on me.
Well, Danny, you're a special case. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's fine. The relationship hasn't been great. The sex wasn't good, and it was a fucking joke. I paid good money for this.
it's okay
golden horde.
when you keep playing your PS5 and your controller goes flaccid one day. Remember this.
Shit. Okay, let me go ahead and dust off the PS5 real quick. There you go.
I'm just saying, because your controller triggers will go flaccid at some point in time.
Man, I'll go flaccid when Demon Souls is done. Okay.
I'm just saying, man. They put really crappy springs in the freaking triggers.
Shit, I'll remember if I even turn on adaptive triggers. What the fuck are you talking about?
What is it? Well, probably even without the adaptive triggers, it's still gonna go bad.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see as soon as I dust off this bad boy to play Spider-Man again.
Jesus, beat Demon Souls.
Yeah, I need to get around to it. I fucking fought King Alant, and man, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with gearing in that game, man, but my character does not do jack and shit and damage, right? I don't know if that's a Demon Souls thing, but I fucking fought a lot, like 15 different times, and I literally was one swing to beat him, and he got me with that stupid Febreze ass fucking dust attack that I posted on Twitter, and I was so fucking livid, man. I thought, man, I'm gonna gimp the shit out of the system, and now I'm like in Dark World tendencies.
Wait, is
and
that
I'm like, man,
was
fuck
that
this
like
ass.
a bug, like an actual like bug boss?
No, that's an attack he has, but it's so fucking
But it's
bullshit
a
'cause
bug,
it's-
right? It's a big bug that is the boss.
No. That's King Alon. Like that's like the false king. Spoiler alert. But yeah.
So talking about shit, let's talk about Soldier Boy's.
Wait,
Coming out with another-
You talking about my main man, Soldier Boy?
Yo,
Bro, like,
I'm about to
the
crank.
fact that he's coming back with another
I'm about
game
to crank
console.
that Glock if you be disrespecting my
There
boy.
you go.
At this point, he
I
should.
can't say it is true.
At this point, he should just make an OnlyFans and post like photos of his grill.
I mean, like at one point he did ask his fans to cash app him. That was pretty hilarious.
That's sad. Like, why? Why,
Those
dude? You
people
have
do it.
like that one song that was really good back in 2006, and you're
That
meaning
he
to
had
tell
to
me
censor the hell out of most of his shirt because it was because of a logo.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he's coming out with the exact same console that he came out with before, so nobody fall for this scam. I mean, it's kind of hard to unless you're,
I'm waiting for the day someone actually gets
boomer.
I've yet to see one person receive it. And let me clarify that. Yes, I'm well aware that people have bought the exact same system because, guys, I don't know if you know about this, but there's this thing called drop shipping, right? Essentially what you do is that you play as the middleman to ship a product that is readily available through you, because that's what Soulja Boy is doing. He's buying one of those like Amazon, Chinese, like all-in-one
Yeah, but he's
bootleg
buying
ass
it,
systems.
and he's like, he doesn't even brand it on the box or anything, like nothing. It's
No, of course not.
just straight drop
No.
ship.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So people have bought the exact same box, but they got it faster than directly from Soulja Boy's website. It's the same thing with like I think you guys remember the Pablo Escobar phone.
Oh, God,
remember when that was a fucking
that
thing?
thing was
yeah,
such a
they
laughing
advertised the
stock,
shit out
too.
of it. It was like $300. They said rips fucking Samsung, and what happened? People who were like influencers would get the phone and they'll open it up and it's a fucking Galaxy Fold.
But with
they're
with
the only
gold
people that would get the
fold,
phone.
with gold like folio.
Tin
Yeah,
foil.
yeah, that's all it is. It's like a skin over the fucking phone.
Yeah, and that's like their entire marketing system was that we pay for all these hot ass bitches to hold this fucking phone. We buy shitty website domains to be, get a lot of clout, and then later we only ship out the phone to people who could be easily manipulated into saying it's a good thing. But at the end of the day, it's a Galaxy Fold with a fucking goddamn
Skin
you guys
slapped
know
on
those
it.
like. Yeah, pretty
With,
much.
like,
Like
a
you guys know
deep-brain
those like
skin.
little chocolate balls that they used to wrap around. Yeah, like chef's sweaty balls. Hello, children. Have you had my chocolate sweaty, it's nutty, salty balls?
Sweaty, salty, nutty balls.
Yeah, I miss Chef a lot.
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet he
But yeah,
misses
so
you
like
too.
so Soulja Boy is back making another console. I've yet to see
Like
anybody
the
receive
legend
it,
he
and
is, dude.
yeah, he read the art of the deal and he knew what he's doing.
You're just mad because he made it.
He made it.
He made it. That's so dumb, dude.
Yep.
All I,
Don't worry. Also, I remember he was selling the Soulja watch and shit too, and I gotta find. This
You
guy's
know
website
what?
again.
That really slipped my mind. I almost forgot about the stick drift on the original Xbox Elite controllers.
Oh, look at that.
I think they might have had a lawsuit against them as well.
Yeah, here you go. Soulja Boy has made a smartwatch that looks a lot like an Apple Watch. This shit is so fucking bootleg. What the fuck? Oh my god. Yeah,
But yeah,
dude, this
so-
guy. But let's face it though, it's smart. It's purely for clout. It's purely for because let's think about it. Where the fuck was Soulja Boy all this time? Like where was
when
he
the world
like
needed him
before
most, he vanished.
Well,
he vanished?
well,
He was the world that the world needed.
He's inevitable though. He came back.
Yeah, he's like Well, I was about to make a FNAF joke, but I think that might flow over a lot of my older audience's fan.
Yeah, I'm definitely not
heads.
7, so I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't understand the game theory lore.
You're right.
Kenny,
I
that's
don't
the
care.
problem.
And like just playing against furries that eat you is stupid.
Shit, dude. Damn, that sounds like a good time.
For you, you weird. I mean, you sexy mother. You know what? Let me just stop this.
Damn, dirty talk on the podcast? Hell yeah, dude.
I told you I simp for the boys.
Exactly. See, fellas, this is what we're talking about. You got to get your boys. Stop simping for them girls. They only simp for the boys.
Women are temporary. Bromosexuals are forever.
Homosexuals.
Yeah, dude. Did you read a new patch update?
Reject tradition. Embrace.
It's not
homies.
virginity. It's reginity.
Yeah, cause that penis is really rigid. I'm
Oh
disgusted.
man.
All right, so so we're gonna have to definitely cut that out and put that in the OnlyFans.
Wait a
section of
minute.
the, podcast.
We have
Wait,
you have an
we have
OnlyFans?
an OnlyFans?
Wait, I thought we all did.
Wait, what?
You bastards!
No. Wait a minute.
How do you think I've been funding this show? I've been selling my feet pics,
Marcos,
you assholes.
you're always double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
What do you mean Thursday? I'm cheeked up every day. What are you talking about? Mama raised no
And
pussy.
anyways, as our listeners are questioning our sexual orientation, anything else you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, so I pulled up the lawsuit thing for Sony right now. It says 1 week after soliciting PS5 owner or yeah, soliciting PS5 owners' feedback on whether they've experienced stick drift with the PS5's DualSense controllers. The New York law firm has moved forward with this class action suit against Sony, filed by Chemicals, Schwartz, Reiner,
That's racist,
and
Kenny.
Donaldson Smith,
That's racist,
LLP. On, you know what,
And
Marco?
Goofy.
Dude, I can't. Chemicals. All right.
Chip Nichols.
I'm sorry
It's
to Chemical. You're doing a good thing. Kenny's it's just an immature
I don't know what
child.
you're talking about. Marcos is laughing too.
I'm laughing because you're having a stroke, dude.
On behalf of those
Uh-huh.
affected by the faulty PS5 DualSense controller, the plaintiff Lamarck Turner. Okay.
Oh, it's a person that. Okay, I see. All right.
The lawsuit claims that the PS5 controller is defective and its drifting significantly interferes with gameplay and thus compromises the DualSense controller's core functionality. So are they just going to completely overlook the fact that the triggers were going flaccid after people were playing Call of Duty?
But is this because of adaptive trigger was on all the time, or?
It's because the adaptive trigger was active most of the time while they were shooting. So, like,
Oh, that makes
let's
sense.
say you're playing Call of Duty and you have that trigger going back and forth. Yes, but that's the whole point of the controller is to have the adaptive triggers when you're shooting in like Call of Duty or Battlefield. You're supposed to feel the recoil, essentially.
Well, that's why vibration is there.
How do I feel that with a mouse and keyboard?
Very carefully.
Well, that's why vibrations are there for the controller.
Yeah, exactly. But still, that was the whole point of the adaptive triggers. Anyways, they put like this really crappy spring, and I mean it was literally like it's one string of metal that just wraps twice, and that's it. And
I mean, I got news for you, Kenny. That's what a spring is.
you know what, Marcos? They could have used 2 springs instead of 1.
Well, Kenny, listen, the budget is already kind of pushing it at that
Bro,
point.
I
like,
gotta spend an extra 3 cents. Get out of here.
yo,
Damn, dude.
Get out of here. Who do you think this is, dude? You think of Microsoft?
Danny, that little thing about Etika Sony Dance thing with the $20. All I'm gonna say is I actually filed for a class action lawsuit against the FX chipset when they had that one active, and yeah, I got my money from them. It was like $26, but you know what? That was $26 that I got back.
I actually got a check from NVIDIA because of 970 debacle.
Yeah, you bought a 970.
And I was like, hell yeah. $60, baby, worth it.
Okay. This is.
So yeah, if you guys do you guys know the context of what Etika was doing there, why he was doing the dance?
No.
Well, rest in peace, my boy
For
Etika.
real.
Long story short, when he got the PS Vita, and I'm pretty sure you guys remember that system was 3G. Apparently, the 3G didn't work for him, and it turns out a lot of people weren't getting the 3G to work. So so they made a class action lawsuit, and he got the check from Sony. So rather than cashing it in, he framed it, and he starts doing the dance in front of their studio, in front of the headquarters.
Oh, wow.
And I thought that was really hilarious.
Oh, wow.
Oh man, this guy still makes me laugh, man.
Bro,
Like,
class
God, I
action
still miss him.
lawsuits are rampant though. Like there's one against Apple for their older iPhones.
Remember the Escobar phone we
Yeah,
talked about?
yeah,
Yeah,
they got
apparently
lawsuit
Marcus
too.
when he got Marcus got the Escobar phone, in the packaging it was part of the lawsuit.
Oh.
They tell you that the Escobar brother got really mad because apparently his information got leaked through FaceTime, and because of a lawsuit that every time they ship the phone out they had to put a copy of it saying that, hey, they're suing each other essentially.
Wow.
God, what a fucking joke.
What a mess.
Yep. I got a check from a job I used to work at a call center job I used to work at. I just randomly got a check. Turns out that the shitty call center job I worked at were skimping people out on their breaks. So some guy pointed it out and they proved it, and then everybody, even though I wasn't working there for like a year now, technically I was affected, so I got like an extra like $200 check
Hey,
from them.
that's awesome though. Like you got paid from a job that you quit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, what do
Pretty
you mean
much.
skipping out? Like
I-
they shorten your breaks without you guys even knowing it?
Pretty much, yeah. From what I've remembered, like it was like a bunch of people, like a lot of my coworkers, was like, "Hey, we all got like these checks. Anybody know about it?" And of course, everybody fucking either quit or got fired by that point. So my friend who still worked there, then clarified, like, "Yeah, this is why," because they sent out the checks, but they didn't give like the context, right?
Because they didn't
So,
want you to know
explain,
why.
like, oh
They
yeah,
just wanted you to accept it.
they just want you to shut the
Yeah.
fuck up and don't ask questions.
Yeah, a lot of
yeah,
companies do that. Is little hush money, little
Yep.
just keep it on the
My friend who was a coworker there told me that, like, yeah, this is the reason that we were they were shortchanging you guys on breaks, and one guy pointed it out, they proved it, and then they applied it to everyone who worked there. And the funny thing is, usually you got to sign up for that sort of thing, but I guess because it was an employee to employee relationship, that's what that it automatically applied to me as well, even though I haven't been working there at that point. At least I want to say a couple months, maybe to a year.
You think they just settled on an amount and not actually go back on your hours and just say, hey, this is how much we got from this guy? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because no one got a same amount. Everyone got different amounts depending on how long you've been working there.
Oh,
that
okay,
makes
that makes
sense.
sense. That makes sense. Well, that's kind of scummy as hell, but that's dumb.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Do you
really
know
dumb.
who-
But speaking about business lately, I've been really fascinated lately on because I'm trying to make we're trying to make this podcast like a thing and things like that. I've been fascinated with the whole like business side of things of being an entertainer. Like I've been really digging into the old Machinima catalog, or the lack thereof, of mainly people who left Machinima. And Marcos and me, we were going to talk about this in the last podcast. We were talking about like getting into an industry. Because Marcos wanted to talk about, young artists that want to get into the music industry. I had a friend of mine, a coworker of mine, actually talk about music, like business side of music with me, and we were talking about like things we should be avoiding if you're trying to be getting into this sort of industry. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think that it's just kind of crazy because like it's so funny because like back in the day, like having a Machinima content creator title next to your name was such a big fucking deal back then.
Flex, dude. A big flex.
It was a huge flex, and it was just the idea that like back then that you were telling people like, hey, I make Call of Duty content and I get paid to do it, and like people need to understand like back in the day, this was like early 2010. YouTubers didn't make money doing gaming content on their own channels because YouTube didn't want to do the dirty dancing of the copyright gray zone, so they would just purposely immediately not even apply it.
Yeah.
But now, like as the years have passed, now you could just sign directly up with YouTube and you could get into a revenue stream without an MCM. So I think like MCMs are kind of pointless right now.
Oh, they've been pointless for years now, and the business practice with Machinima was pretty dang scummy, to say the least.
Yeah.
Like they would garnish most of your wages from your videos.
They would take like 40%.
Yeah, and they would sign you into a 2-year contract that you would have to solely make content that they wanted you to make.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they'll make like 3 or 5-year contracts. I've heard someone told me that a contract was never ending, but the thing was though is that apparently though the contracts weren't like super legally tight. So if you took it to court, you essentially would always win.
Right.
That's the thing about industry.
Yeah, and the problem is though with MCMs, you're kind of like in a pyramid at that point because if you're a top dog, they'll care about you. They'll get your shit taken care of. But if you're a smaller channel, they won't give you 2 fucks in a nickel. And even if you're even a big channel, like you could still get fucked over by MCNs. Like I remember Critical was talking about how he was with Maker. This is Critical we're talking about. This guy has like 2 million subs at last, if I'm correct, and he was working with Maker, and Maker didn't help him with anything, and like they wouldn't even let him like get out of the contract because they would automatically renew it, even though he would tell him like don't renew the contract, and he had to go on Twitter to call him out and say like, hey, Maker, I need you guys to stop fucking doing that. And then after he made that tweet, immediately they're like, all right, your contract expires at the end of the month.
That's dumb, dude. That's honestly dumb. It's honestly just people, too many middlemen, I think, or too many chefs in the kitchen.
Too many hands in the cookie jar at
It's
that point.
just dumb, dude. It's honestly quite dumb, and I just don't understand, dude. Just stop. People don't need to get lost in this whole jargon, corporate jargon, but I guess that's what they want,
Yeah.
really. They want you to get lost in this.
Well, I think at that point, the best thing you should do is like learn as much, or if not more, than your competition. What I mean by that is that, like, you know, I give a lot of credit to Michael Jackson. Like, he may seem childlike, but the dude's a
Oh,
genius.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he
yeah.
knows business. He knows how to run a business. And people may take his, like, appearance, like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. A lot of musicians will, get into these contracts and stuff, and they don't see, like, how bad it will be in the long run. Like, I think my coworker mentioned this thing called 360 contracts, where a company, like a record company, will make a cut out of everything you do. So let's say your agreement was you're going to make 4 albums, and then from those 4 albums, you're like, okay, I'm going to make a little bit of money on the side, getting sponsored by Sprite to do a Sprite commercial. The record company, because you signed a 360 contract, also gets a cut out of that agreement. Or, God forbid, let's say you don't own your music anymore. Like, I bring this up
Taylor
with, like,
Swift.
older metal bands where it's like not all their music is available on Spotify because it was signed on a smaller label. The label gets bought out. Rights of the song are up in the air. No one knows who owns it. It goes kind of in obscurity at that point.
Yeah. All I know is that you people really, really need to learn how to read the fine print of things.
Yeah, you need to
Because
sit down and read that 300-page essay of
well, no,
everything.
okay.
For the love of God, get at least a lawyer you could
Okay,
trust.
so here's the thing. Like, I've seen plenty of contracts where you're like, what the hell does this mean? Like, what are you guys even talking about? Like, there's this one contract where someone was I think it was like for news. Some guys was developing news or whatever, and he was just doing solo. And the contract was this whole 100-page jargon where it says that the person who created this this business is now at a manager position, right? He's at a manager position. Now, when shit hits the fan, like the only people who have main control over the entire business are people above manager positions. And then later down in the contract it says anyone who's a manager cannot be upgraded or promoted to a higher position. And basically the guy's signing away his own dang business because of the fine print if he were to sign it. But that's the thing. He read it and he's like, you guys are scumbags and I'm not gonna ever associate with you guys ever again. And that's what it was. But you gotta really, really be careful with whatever you're signing, whatever contract you're going for. I mean, heck, even the first credit card I got, I read everything about it. And now I have 2 more credit cards after that, and I still read the entire fine print. But that's the thing. Like, people really, really, really need to get on that. Really need to just, what's it called? They really need to read fine print. That's one of the parts about being an adult, sadly, that people will try to scam you away with whatever money that they can get from you. It's honestly just pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have to, like I said, you have to know more. Knowledge is power. You got to know more because people who get signed into these contracts get into this idea like, oh my God, I'm getting signed into a contract. I'm clearly going to be protected and loved and get paid good money. It's like, no, you're just signing away your shit. Like, that's the way to look at it.
But that's the thing.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the issue with like games and like publishers is they're selling their IPs to these publishers rather than keeping it to themselves. Like Bungie did with Activision, they had to buy out their own IP from Activision. And that's why Microsoft kept Halo in the first place, was because they proposed Halo to Microsoft, or actually Microsoft came to them with the proposition of making this game for the original Xbox, and they ended up keeping the IP because Bungie sold it to them.
Yep. It's funny because like the funny thing was that Halo was first shown at Macworld, and then later, Bill Gates came along and was like, hey, I'm gonna need that on my Xbox.
Yep.
But you know what? Actually, just so I could go ahead and wrap this up real quick, because I think we should wrap. I want to quickly talk about I'm pretty sure everyone on Twitter right now is losing their shit about the Metallica concert thing on Twitch.
Oh, more updates on that?
No. It's just that what it's funny is that what people are laughing about it is that it was ironically, it's the Metallica unironically caused what happened to them. I'm pretty sure they don't give a fuck. To them, they performed. People who didn't listen. They didn't care because I'm pretty sure they still got paid. But I think it's the ultimate irony that the band that pushed so hard to shut down Napster, to get all these like file streaming sites, sue the shit out of people who use Napster and things like that. I think it's so funny that the metal band Metallica is a super, fuck the system situation, gamified the hell out of it, that now we live in a world where you can't listen to Metallica perform live because you're scared that Metallica will copyright strike you while they're performing.
I mean, honestly, like I said before we started recording, and I think I need to refresh myself on this case, but Metallica sued a nail painting, small little painting company, for nail gloss or whatever it's called, and they were called Metallica, only to find out that, hey, they were called Metallica before Metallica was even a band. And they tried their best to really take this to court, really try to drown them in what was it, fees and stuff, but they ended up just not going, not really not finishing the suit. They just dismissed it. It was Metallica's it's got its problems when it comes to legal.
Jesus Christ, Metallica sued, like, I literally typed in Metallica sues and I got cover band, Napster, kids, fans, Victoria's Secret, Green Jello, 13-year-old, 12-year-old, and Avenged Central. And I'm like, damn, what the fuck is up with this band, man? Holy shit. I like that my favorite comment that all these people were tweeting about was when there was just like, well, if Metallica wants me to buy their shit, they should put something out in the last 20 years.
Did you not like their more recent album?
No, dude. I'm gonna be completely transparent. I've never been one to hop on the Metallica band hate that was like in the early 2010s. Yeah. I remember that was like a thing. I don't know what it was. I just remember people were like shitting on Metallica. And I remember your brother was talking about an album of theirs that bombed really hard or something.
Yeah.
But I like Master of Puppets. I like One. I like a handful of their songs, but I'm not a Metallica fan. In fact, I don't know if I ever told you guys the story that Metallica cured my insomnia. That's a
you told me.
Hilarious
you told me about it.
Story. Have I ever said it on the podcast?
No, you haven't.
No. All right, so let me give you guys a quick story real quick so we could go ahead and wrap this up on a story. So back in high school, in 1 week, I couldn't sleep. It was the scariest shit ever. I don't know what it was. There was no test, nothing to keep me up at night, right? But for the life of me, I couldn't sleep. I would lay down. I remember this one time, I tried to tire myself out. I cleaned the shit out of my room. Like, I scrubbed everything. I wanted to try to, like, exhaust myself, so I would throw myself in the bed and fall asleep.
Right.
And for the life of me, I couldn't do it. I still remember this one night where I laid on my side, looked at the wall, because my bed is like right next to the wall, and I remember just staring at that wall, and then I heard my alarm clock go off because I had to go to school that morning, and I realized I didn't fall asleep. I stared at this wall for like 9 hours. Mm-hmm. Nothing, and I still couldn't sleep. And man, let me tell you something. Going through a week of insomnia is like the scariest shit ever. I don't want to ever go through it again. I don't want anybody to ever go through it again, because you start having the worst fucked up thoughts ever when you're running on barely any fumes. Like, I was scared of myself at that point, right? So the weekend rolls around. I still haven't slept yet. I hung out with Marcos's brother. And back then, Marcos' brother was the only kid I knew who still played Guitar Hero, and he liked to play Guitar Hero Metallica. And I was sitting in his room. And I think by like the second song, this thought came in my head, and I was like, man, this Metallica band really likes to start their songs like the same way over and over again. And by the third song, I knocked the fuck out. I went to bed on his couch, and I was like, Metallica cured my insomnia. I don't know how they would react if they heard this. I don't know if they would take it good, or they might sue me for it. Hopefully not. But like, I just thought that was funny. Because like, yeah, Metallica. And whenever I tell people like, do you listen to Metallica? It's like, yeah, they cured my insomnia. I'm like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? I mean, that's a good thing. I'm grateful for it.
There's the good and the bad, and the bad and the good.
All right, so
yeah.
And on a good note, Epic Games Store is giving out Rage 2 for free right now.
Oh, neat. Also, Epic Game Store is finally putting Kingdom Hearts on PC, and they're charging like $170.
I love it how the stories so far came out for console. All the Kingdom Hearts game up to 3.
It's like $30.
So stupid.
What the look? Okay, if you had to release Kingdom Hearts all at once, okay, if you had to sell story so far for $60, I would have bought it. But the fact you have to sell the collection like this, split up, and in my opinion, at a really weird value per dollar,
It's dumb.
situation, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm gonna wait for it to eventually go on
It's like
sale.
with Google Stadia, they did the same thing, but
Yeah,
that's different.
I forgot
that's
about
different.
it. It's up in the cloud. We all forgot about it. But yeah, I think we could wrap up with that nice little storytelling. Metallica, Draconian Nightmare, Insomnia Cure.
I think more than anything, it might have been Guitar Hero as a whole. You know, the little clitter clatter.
No, I think it was Metallica because I fucking knocked the shit out. Like every time I listen to Metallica, it puts me to sleep.
There you go. Maybe you should.
That's not I hate it. I like their music. It just was a coincidence, I guess. I don't know.
Just a slow. It's
Who
a
knows?
slow build up. That's what gets you.
It really is. Ding 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 ding. Anyways, yeah, I think you want to wrap, guys, or anything else you guys want to say?
Yeah, let's put this in a burrito and let's wrap it up.
Ooh,
Hell yeah,
that
dude.
sounds
Let's like a
good.
tree and get the hell out of here.
Marcus, you had something you were gonna say?
Yeah, just I'm not sure if anyone knows, but just in case anyone wondering about why Kenny was simping last week, he caught Ligma.
Oh,
Yep.
damn!
Yeah.
Welcome to the
And
club.
now I have smegma.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's illegal.
Boy, you got it. Boy, I'm gonna throw you some soap, and you better get in there and clean them.
I'm gonna give you a
folds.
cheese grater because I want some of that for my pasta.
All right, I'll definitely take the cheese grater.
It reminds me of the story some guy told me about like getting a vasectomy, and he was describing that like he shaved the pubes around his dick, and they're like, "Don't shave your balls, right?" And he's like, "Okay, fine, I won't shave my balls." The nurse comes in with essentially a cheese grate and grates the shit against his balls.
Oh my god!
What?
And they did the surgery with it. And he's like, "What the fuck? Why did you do this? I could have done this, and it's painful."
I mean, I manscape often, and not only that, I'm also even thinking about vasectomy because condoms suck. But Jesus Christ, a cheese
Yeah.
grater?
Yeah, but he described it as a cheese grater.
I bet it was two grain sandpaper or 2 grit sandpaper. That's what it is. 2 grit.
I think they
sandpaper.
do it.
The Home Depot theme is playing in the
I think they
background.
just did it because they don't want the roots of the hair in the way. I guess I don't know. That sounds so weird.
It's 2 grit sandpaper. That's it. Just 2 ginormous rocks that you rub up against them.
I mean, that sounds like a good time.
It's like a rust.
That sounds like a good time though.
Yeah, so anyway, kinky fetishes, sleep music,
Schmegma.
and orientation, and schmegma.
Schmegma.
I think you guys want to go ahead and wrap.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap on a good note. All right, thank you so much for listening to episode 16 of the DKM podcast with the boys. We got our boy Kenny back. Sorry, Kenny, about getting Ligma. Don't worry, but the
Smegma.
Undead Curse is guaranteed to get it, so you'll get that too. Don't die because you'll be a corpse.
I'll make sure to
then you
catch
gotta-
the
you gotta
vid
hunt
of the
that-
co.
No,
20.
you don't. You don't want that. No, because that you die. You become hollow at that point, and you need to get humanity. Anyways, but yeah. So thank you so much for listening to this episode of the DKM podcast. I expect to get massively sued by Soulja Boy and
Hell
Metallica.
yeah.
So probably going to be selling my feet pics on OnlyFans. So keep an eye out for that. Anyways, and I expect you guys to do it too because you were a part of this ship as much as I am. But yeah, so if you want to listen to us, you always got us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and make sure to follow us on Twitter because we post updates on our podcast. And we also want to post some interesting things because for one thing, though, I wanted to get the audience to tell us what do you guys want us to talk about because I think a good idea is that we should get our audience involved into our shows just as much as you listen to us. So definitely follow us on Twitter. If you got a fun topic, you want to tell us something what you thought about our episode, maybe give some ideas, some critiquing, or just shoot some topics at us that might catch our eye.
Or
We might
even possibly
talk about it.
join
We
into
mention-
the podcast as a special guest.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward for some guests. I definitely have some in mind right now. But if you're interested, just hit us up and we'll see if we could get you into the show.
And don't forget to hit
that's all I
that
really gotta say.
notification bell.
Yeah, don't forget to hit the bell icon too, guys, so you can say notified. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all we got to say. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one and stay safe out there. See ya.